New sponsor alert, man. If you need some cheap and reliable coins, man, hit up GameMS.com, man. They're the cheapest coins on the market. You can get a million coins for less than $50, man. It's cheaper than the bundle. Head over there and check them out. Hello, YouTube, man. We're back here with another video, man. Back here on Madden 20 Ultimate Team for you guys today, man. And I told you guys I'll bring you guys the best Kims, the best abilities, the best X Factors, and all that stuff just for you guys. I'm going to try to keep this video under 10 minutes. I'm trying to make it quick, short, sweet, straight to the point for you guys. So I'm not talking about the O-line as far as the X Factors and the abilities, because who uses theirs on their lineman unless they're going to get some LT? Now, maybe in future Maddens where we can change our X Factors going through the pause menu, going against somebody, then yeah, I can say that happening. But since we're Madden 20, we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the X Factors and abilities by each position. And we'll start with the tight end position. I do think Double Me or maybe Max Security is probably going to be the best one for the tight ends. I rarely get, I don't use tight ends for my X Factors, so it really doesn't matter if you have. I know a lot of people do that. It's pretty OP if you have your X Factors with your tight end. So I think Double Me and Max Security probably the best one for ability wise. I think it's kind of tough, but the matchup nightmare is definitely number one, because they're running 3-4, 4-4, or some of the nickel formations. You're gonna go as a tight end, and trust me, I have seen people dominate me with a tight end. Dallas Clark, George Kittle, Rob Gronkowski. They have beaten me a lot because I have a lot of linebackers on them, and it's already OP as you basically are guaranteed to catch the ball if they touch it. So I think matchup nightmare should definitely be one of your abilities for receiver as well, because it's very OP. And I think another one is depending on what you run, obviously guys pick what you run the most. I do think that cross is very OP for a tight end, because you run a lot of crossing routes, because I think they changed it, because in your formations you can't run a slant route unless you're in the slot, if I'm correct. So I know in past Madden was able to do that. If I remember correctly, you can be able to do a lot of slant routes. If not, you're basically stuck doing the pass blocking and then go like a check down basically. I do think that one's pretty good. I think in specialist is pretty good. Basically all these are pretty good. And like I said, depending on your team, it may be different from you. A lot of people like to use red zone threat. Personally, my ass don't throw the ball in the red zone, because I always throw a pick after I do Steve Wonder reads. And I also think that tight end apprentice, I have yet to use it, because like I said, I don't use X Factors on my tight ends. So I think that, or maybe even slot-o-matic, but I don't know. I do think some of these out, just figure out which one to in and out elite, better route running and better catching is definitely OP for your tight end. You just want to play around with a bit. What is your best, your go-to playbook? And you receivers, now we have Michael Irvin. With the new ability, I believe it was Double Me, and I think these three, but they added Moss. So I do think Moss and Double Me is definitely a no-brainer for your receivers for the ability wise, because I had rack them up, but like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So I think these two are probably the ones that everyone's gonna choose. Now, for like I said, for the tight end, it all depends on what you do most. I do think slant specialist is very, very OP. It helps me out a lot. It saves me in a lot of games. I think slant specialist definitely should be one of your abilities. Streak specialist, even though you really can't throw the ball deep unless you have your X Factor activated, I still run streak specialist, because sometimes make it glitchy. I think another one as well is grab and go. That's what I like to run. Quicker turning and change of direction after a catch. Trust me, this is a must have. Some people like to do outside apprentice or slot apprentice. I don't really like to have those additional hot routes. I mean, it's cool you can have some glitchy routes, but I really don't like to do that. I still like to have that. I think another one as well is maybe route technician and maybe matchup nightmare. But besides that, I think those three are the ones you want to have for your receivers. Now, some of you guys may not have an NFL 100 running back. You have other running backs as well. I still can help you guys out. Just hit me up on Twitter, or just hit me up in the comment section or Discord, and I can help you out. Obviously, Freight Train 100 or wherever the X Factor is the best one for your running backs if you have an NFL 100. But if you do not, I do think First One Free or Freight Train is probably gonna be the best one for you guys, because I tested out myself with Eric Dickerson. It's freaking OP, but First One's Free is usually the best one, or maybe even Wrecking Ball if you have enough. You get your X Factor. So Wrecking Ball. These three can't go wrong. I don't see a lot of people using these three unless you have like Alvin Kamara, Le'Veon Bell, rack them up. But there's no point in using that. As far as ability wise, I always like to use Jukebox, but I think Jim Brown, this is where he comes into play, because he can get, I think, Wrecking Ball, Jukebox, not Wrecking Ball, Brawl. What was it? Better Stiff Arm. I forgot what it was called. It should be down here. I think it's but he can get Bulldozer. Yeah, he can get Bulldozer. You can get Bulldozer, I believe, Evasive. Some running backs can't even get that. So I think Jukebox is definitely one of them. That's what I use for my Eric Dickerson. I think Backfield Mismatch is very underrated. A lot of people don't use it. I was streaming one time and one of the top 20 Madden Madden players came to my stream like, hey, use backfield mismatches OP, and it really is something. Backfield mismatch is definitely one of your good ones. Now I believe if you have jukebox and evasive, it doesn't stack, so just pick one. My dumbass will always pick both, so I don't think it stacks, so that's probably one you want to have. And I think the most OP one, I have made a video, if you guys haven't checked it out, check out my Madden 20 playlist. I am updating it right now as we speak. Outside zone guru is one of the best abilities to have on your running back. Trust me, stretch is already OP and you're already running that. You're definitely going to be what people ask with this card. Like I said, man, it's definitely one of the best abilities to have. Obviously, Bulldozer if you have. I want to have Bo Jackson. I had Bulldozer, so he was definitely a tank. Is concerned, man. I have to use either Gambler or Pro Reads, but it's kind of, you know, but it's cool. I do think. I rarely get my X factors with these guys because I always do some dumb shit. Or I'm always on short field, and I think the closest players I've gotten in my X factor is my running back. So I think Bazooka is probably the best one, considering that Lamar Jackson doesn't have the best throwing stats. But I do think Bazooka, Gambler. Now, if you have good reads, you don't need to have pro reads. Or maybe even Fearless, though, actually is unaffected by defensive pressure. Is probably one of the best ones you can have, especially with these crazy ass linebackers like Von Miller, LT, Mean Joe Green, and them all coming at you. They're affect your pass. So, far as your, depending, like I said, it all depends on your play style. So, obviously, Gutsy Scrambler is I mean, if you have a roaming quarterback, it all depends. So, we're gonna talk about it right now. So, like I said, I think. Gutsy Scrambler, obviously I'm a scrambler quarterback, but like usually for your best one, you want to have the best, which is I think I can show you guys right here. You want to have Dashing Deadeye, and I believe it's going to be, where is it at? He can get that. Oh wow, maybe seen his last one. Should be Roman Deadeye. They'd be a good one to have for your quarterback. You don't want to have jukebox, and you want to have, I think it's perfect gift wrapped, perfect accuracy for throwing inside the pocket. Those are one of your best abilities that you want to have, because some of you guys may not have Lamar Jackson. So having like the gift wrap, the perfect accuracy in the pocket is definitely a must-have for a quarterback, because you know if you can just sit there, you're not really a roamer, you're gonna be fine. For free safeties and safeties is concerned, like I said, I have Ronnie Lott, so I don't know. Maybe it all depends. So I'm going to power him up anyway. Reinforcement 100, higher chance to disrupt run blocks and disrupt catches. Like I said, if you already have an automatic NFL 100 player, automatically select this one. It's a no-brainer. But I do think for a safety, you're going to want Zone Hawk or Shut Down. Those are probably the best ones that you want to have. Obviously, you want to have these because the run is OP, but I do think just having Zone and Shut Down, either or, it really doesn't matter depending on what you want to do. As far as abilities is concerned, it really, like, it's kind of hard because certain DBs can get certain, like, abilities. As far as, like, I'll talk about Dion, I will show you guys in a second, but I do think that it's kind of tough to figure out which one's the best for you, because most of these abilities suck ass anyway. So, I believe Tip Drill can be a good one for the first one, but I think you should go with Zone Hawk for the first one. I do think you should get, let's see what you can get. Can't get Lurker in the second tier? Okay, no, you can't get Lurker in the second tier. So you can get Zone Out in the first tier. I think Acrobat, isn't... I think Tip Drill probably should be number 2, because you do get a lot of tip passes and stuff like that. Or maybe even Acrobat. It's pretty tough. I think Acrobat will definitely probably be it. Is it cheaper? It is more expensive. So I think Acrobat should be your second one. And I do think Enforcer is definitely a must-have, especially if you have like Pat Tillman or Ronnie Lott per se. Lurker is pretty good if you have one. I don't think you can get Man Up. You can get Lumberjack cuts. Ooh, that's not bad. So I do, maybe pick ours, I don't know. Ooh, universal coverage. Improve coverage. I didn't see this one because I have yet to power up this safety. So I do think universal coverage would be pretty good. So I'm going to say universal coverage. You can't go wrong with coverage, but I do think Enforcer is definitely a must-have. So I would go with Enforcer. I don't think you really need this right now, but I do think Enforcer is definitely a must-have for you. So far as your cornerbacks, this is like the whole DB situation. Obviously, Shut Down 100. But like I said, Zone Hawk or Shut Down, either or, it doesn't matter. Just pick one of the others, like the best 2 you can really get. Like I talked about Dion, he can get Man Up in the first tier. Man Up. Get Man Up on the first one if you have it. If not, I do believe also Acrobat or Tip Drill should be your first one. Second one should be, I think, Zone Out. I don't think he gets Zone Out in the second tier. Yeah, so obviously Man Up. acrobat or tip drill. It doesn't matter, whatever you feel best. Obviously should be acrobat. And the last one should be zone out. He should have universal coverage as well, so either or would do, especially it's Dion. You don't have enforcer on here. I think the Night Train lane can get enforcer, so I do think universal coverage would be very, very key. Improved coverage and catch knockdowns and man and zone. So universal coverage is definitely a must have, or possibly zone out or lurker. So that's definitely one of the ones you want to pick for your corners. Talk about your D lineman now. This is going to go for all four. Right ends, left ends, D tackle 1, D tackle 2. So obviously your X factors, it's really kind of, you know, automatic to pick the best one. It's definitely going to be unstoppable force. I had fearmonger, but I don't really see the really effect of it, so I'm going to go with unstoppable force. Obviously nothing wrong with fearmonger, but unstoppable force is definitely OP. Ability slot 1, like I said, I'm sure you guys, maybe I can show you somebody better, not just Aaron Donald. Let me show you. Let's do Reggie White. I think Reggie White probably be the best one. Because he has some pretty nasty stats here. So obviously, like I said, unstoppable force 100, definitely OP. You want to go with, let's see what we got here. Power. You can get power specialist in the first one, pretty cool. So go with power specialist if you can get power specialist. If not, get under pressure. A lot of people have that in their first tier. I do believe the second tier should be, I think you can get edge threat, but you can't get it in this first tier. So I will go with under pressure in the second tier because you can't get finesse specialist. I don't think you can get it in this second tier. And you want to go with either, where is it? I know LT had it. Edge threat elite or pass rush elite. Those definitely want to be best ones. He can get enforcer. Oh wow. Edge threat. Ooh. I would go with edge threat elite. I think definitely edge threat elite would definitely be the best one. Pass rush elite. I'm gonna go with edge threat elite. Probably the best one for you guys to pick. I don't think you can get finesse specialist. Can you? I thought, wasn't it? I thought finesse specialist was one. Actually, no. No. Run stuffer. I would definitely pick run stuffer considering inside zone. I think the pass rush is already good enough, but having run stopper stop the run would definitely be nice to have for your lineman if you decide to make him an X factor. I do think rest of it. Talk about your middle linebackers. I'm talking about right outside linebacker and left. Well, basically both are the same one. So, for your middle linebackers, man, if you like I said, it either should be your safety and 2 pass rushers. This probably this should key to win. Trust me. So, I do think Zone Hawk will probably be the best one for linebackers. The coverage is usually pretty shit. So I would go with Zone Hawk. For your ability, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out because, okay, so you can't get that just yet. So I do think if you haven't had Shazier, which a lot of you guys should have, I do think you should get, let's see, I would get Unfakeable. Ooh, Unfakeable because of ball carrier move. I think Unfakeable should be your first tier. I do think, what else? We can't get shit. Let's go to Ray Lewis. I don't think, yeah, Shazier really doesn't have, because some of the archetypes in this game isn't, you know, pretty, you know, this. So I do think, let's see, I'm going to power him up a little bit some more. I'm gonna refund that shit anyway, so it don't even matter to me. So like I said, let's see, he can get reach elite, which is not bad. Ooh, enforcer, definitely get enforcer in your first tier if you have a Ray Lewis. Let's see what else we got. Tackle supreme. Oh yeah, that was better. Tackle supreme. And also I believe he can get, I wouldn't do tip drill out of my way. Nah, I would do inside stuff. Yeah, definitely inside stuff. You really don't want to do too much, or maybe run stuffer for your coverage wise, and obviously zone hawk as well for your linebackers. So like I said, you gotta pick and choose, obviously, but I do think those are probably the best ones for your linebackers. Left outside linebackers, now obviously it depends on who you have. Like I said, I have Vaughn and I have LT. Now if you have someone like my Ted Hendricks or maybe Kevin Green or somebody else who's getting pass rush, I would go with zone hawk if you have a pass coverage linebacker. If not, definitely unstoppable force. I have under pressure, I have power specialist, and I have edge threat. So was I tripping when I said there was a finesse specialist? I thought that was a finesse specialist around here. I will. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Finesse specialist. Okay, so you can get it. So I do think those are probably the best three. Now, obviously, you know, Vaughn isn't a good one, but most of you guys have a 92 overall player. And let's see what LT got. I know LT got some glitchy shit here. Obviously, unstoppable force, under pressure, power specialist, and pass rush elite. Same thing I'll tell you guys about Reggie White. This card here is just a fucking monster. I went over 10 minutes, so I'm going to cut it up into 2 parts. I will talk about the chemistries for you guys in another video. That one should be a little bit shorter than this one. But thank you guys for all the love and support. 2 more videos dropping today. See you later. I'm out. Peace. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you guys so much, man. Please check out my sponsor, man, Gaming, man. It's for the cheapest coins on the market, man. Use code BREE for 6% off.